Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Show Films. I am Sen, your executive producer here. I want to thank you all for tuning in to watch the show. I also like to thank our patrons over at our patreon.com/fsfilms, where you can go to support us in the shenanigans that we get up to here on a weekly basis. Particularly want to thank our $25 tier supporters over there, those being Jeremy Alexander, L, and Samantha Bates, without whom we would do most of the things we do now. So, thank you for support over the years. And those of you that are watching live, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live.
Here.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Call of Cthulhu, the Vanishing Country, or county, some word like that.
If it was a country, I'd be very concerned.
Well,
The bye-bye zone.
You just think it's the county is the problem. When last we left off, the agents of the Federal Bureau of Control got licked.
I mean, not wrong.
And after discovering various different definitions of pain, presumably from multiple different authors, the two of the members of the Federal Bureau of Control that came desperately close to death were recovered, healed, and the entirety of the group were extricated from Jade County to go back home for some well-deserved R&R. That is, reading about incantations and recovering from their injuries.
It tracks.
After 3 weeks of enhanced training methods, which are different from enhanced interrogation methods, though the recipients might disagree with that statement, the agents are prepared to attempt to see if any of them could become para-utilitarians, the members of the Federal Bureau of Control that are able to link themselves to objects of power and altered items alike in an effort to attain some form of supernatural prowess and potentially emulate the effects resembled on the items. We start with 3. But before we do that, we will go to our introductions. So, joining me this week is Jack.
Hello, I am Jack, but I'm not Jack. I'm gonna play Kathleen Moody, who is also Katie.
And
make your luck recovery
yes,
roll.
Luck recovery roll.
What do I roll? I don't know how any
Roll
rolls
your
work. I forgot.
Roll your luck. You get
Failure.
Yep, which
You
means
gain
you get
2d10 plus 10.
2d10.
2d10 plus 10 luck.
Okay.
so 20. So you regain 20 luck. And also joining us is Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Virginia Reeds. I will go ahead and roll my luck. Shit, I set my luck to be editable, easily editable.
If you
so
do
I have
that,
to turn
you can
that
click
off.
on the word luck.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
It still works.
I failed, so I get 2d10 by 10. And in the spirit of Call of Cthulhu and horror, today's environmental horror headline is the Met Office warns the UK will be double-fisted by deadly snow and ice.
Damn.
More of a
Hey,
visual horror, but
Frosty gets around, apparently.
It's not even a double entendre. That's just a single entendre.
It's a very lonely entendre.
2d10 plus 10. 19. I have a level of luck that I am not comfortable with 51. I need to spend that on superfluous rolls.
I like that you rolled a 1 and an 8, which in World of Darkness terms is a huh? And Trevian.
I'm Drevian. I'm playing Lily and Clara. And to call back to the intro, I've been a $25 tier supporter for 52 months now.
Oh,
Nice.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah. Yes.
And make your luck roll.
2d10.
Ah, there you go. This is how we repay
27 luck back.
you.
I will give you my luck.
And William.
Hi, I'm William Orshani, and I am playing Victor, who is to get some luck back. I would have been surprised if I had succeeded that.
I would have laughed if you'd succeeded at that.
I would have
would've been
laughed
really
really
annoyed.
hard. I'll laugh even harder. Okay, fine. I was gonna say I'll laugh even harder if you roll double ones.
I mean, the exact same roll you made, so.
Yep. Just
In
well,
reverse, actually.
reversed,
I was gonna say.
inverted.
And Craig?
I am, by some miraculous happenstance of the dice, still playing Lewis Lampley, a former HR representative who, in light of recent events, is now hard bitten. No, he's still Lewis. And we'll try to roll some luck. Yeah, I failed that one real good. That's a 100. So let me get that out of my system here.
I'm sure you won't roll that number again today.
And then 18 additional, which brings me up to 33.
And Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Vanessa. And wow, I failed that. Okay.
So 2d10 plus 10. Back to your luck.
All failed their luck rolls.
That's good luck, right?
That's a good sign or a bad sign.
There's certainly no secret mechanics that are being adjusted based on that opening luck rolls. 24. All right. So now that we've all been in-luckened,
It's like playing Star Wars when we'd all roll light side points. And it was like, well, great. Now we're screwed because
Yep.
immediately.
Kathleen, Virginia, and Vanessa. The three of you are standing next to, well, slightly in front of. Oops, that's the wrong. I need to do it over here so that the audience doesn't see my secrets. Slightly in front of the archivist Sally McPherson, who has a clipboard in hand and is monitoring you. Before you is a large, out-of-place stone door covered in a variety of carved glyphs. And as the three of you have been placed in front of it with no indication as to what to do, Sally, from behind you, simply just says, "All right. If one of you, we'll say Vanessa, please approach the door and try to open it."
Can I
Oh,
can I make some kind of a roll to know something to see if I know anything about this door? Has it appeared in any kind of file or anything?
You've seen the door before. It's a door that is that your eyes are sort of preternaturally precluded to not look at in the archives of the office. But to know more than that, you can give me a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
Oh,
That thing we have
I'm gonna
0
roll
in.
it. I
Could
failed
succeed.
it.
No idea.
I'm delighted I got to roll that.
what do I need to roll to try to open the door?
What do you do?
She will walk over. Is she allowed to touch it?
All you were told was try to open the door.
She will walk over and examine it with her hands and her eyes as well.
Okay.
To try to see if there is a way she can open it.
Go ahead and give me an occult roll.
I would like, if possible, to spend luck on that
Sure.
to make it a success.
You absolutely can.
Okay.
All right. How much luck did you spend? I bet
8 luck.
Okay. So yeah,
I am, for the record,
Mhm.
specifically not watching because that would be copying off someone else's homework.
I'm, for the
Virginia
record,
follows
definitely
the
watching
rules.
because this is more important than homework.
You fiddle with the door for a bit, looking at the runes, tracing them with your fingers, pushing. The door doesn't move at all. And as you sort of like step back and stare at it and start looking, tilting your head, you tilt your head and look at some of the carved and etched runes. And something clicks in the back of your mind. And you have a distinct vision of this door opening. There is a slight glow to the runes. Would please roll me 2d10.
Okay.
Right.
16.
Your maximum sanity is reduced by 16, and your Cthulhu Mythos skill is increased by 16 as you connect to the door.
Your maximum normally being 99, so
Yeah.
you would go down to 84 max.
I'll make
You
that.
lose
80,
active
83
sanity as well on that?
If your
Or
maximum,
just max?
if your maximum sanity goes below your
Only
active
that,
sanity, then
okay.
yes.
It would be 83, correction,
In-
because
in the-
99 precludes the 100.
In the back of your mind, this door has opened, and through it you get a sense of unease, as if something has connected to you in a metaphysical fashion, in a way that you didn't know you could be connected to. It's almost like an invisible fishhook has been tossed into your spinal column and is tugging. Very slightly. Not enough to pull you, but enough for you to feel it and be aware of it.
What am I adding that to? For me?
You're adding it to your Cthulhu Mythos skill. So that should go up
Cthulhu
from 0 to 16.
Mythos. Okay.
And knowledge, unbidden, seems
What
to
am I
flow down from that hook to your mind.
saying?
After a few seconds, the glow fades, and Sally McPherson seems to know more than you do because she says, "That's one success. Vanessa, please step back. Virginia, you're next."
All right. Steps forward. We are starting with, as any good librarian would, examining the door and the situation.
Okay. Make me an occult roll.
Yep.
81. Yeah,
Wow, that was way closer than it had any fucking right to be. Question: if you succeed, can you push to try and get hard or extreme success?
You can, yeah. If you fail, you will not be able to spend luck to succeed.
Right.
And there will be consequences. Consequences with every other letter capitalized.
Legitimately, there is an 9 in 10 chance that I still succeed.
It is.
I
you rolling
only
dice,
have
though.
to roll, and the only thing that fucks me is a 9. I'm ready to roll my 9. 1.
All right.
Remember, pushing is re-rolling
Oh
the
yeah,
entire roll.
pushing is re-rolling the entire roll, not a bonus.
Oh, pushing is rolling the
Yeah,
entire
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You're right.
1.
Got
1, motherfucker.
So you approach the door,
Yep.
and immediately you see a pattern in your studied background in occult knowledge. Immediately you see a pattern. You don't recognize it, but you can tell there is one, and you read the glyphs mentally in a particular order. in this sort of spiraling pattern that starts at the bottom of one side of the door, spirals up over the top, and then around and around into the middle. You actually the visible glyphs stop at a certain point, but you continue to read, seeing where the remaining glyphs should be, and as you form this perfect spiral in your mind. Roll me 4d10.
Oh dear God. That's not so bad.
Also 16. Your maximum sanity is
I mean, I
reduced by
want it to
16.
be higher for the but
You know, your maximum sanity is
can I
reduced.
push that? No.
No.
I
Maximum
know.
sanity is reduced by 16, and your
Yep.
Cthulhu Mythos skill is increased by 16 as a door opens firmly in your mind, and you feel this connection to another plane of existence, and knowledge begin to pour forth.
That's the most teacher's pet moment.
Sally McPherson, Kathleen, still not knowing what's going on because watching this doesn't tell you anything. Because to you, nothing happens. Ginny and Vanessa
We're
both stood in front of the door
basically in
and
an episode
stared
of
at
Game Changer.
They just approached the door and stared at it for a little while. But Sally McPherson raises her eyebrows in surprise and notes something on her clipboard and says, "That's a second success." Kathleen, please, your turn.
Oh, so with this game changer theory, opening the door is a success. Looking at the door is a success.
I really want Katie to just turn around, walk away, come back with like a massive explosive and put it next to the door.
Oh God, no, that's a terrible idea.
Well,
Oh.
to be clear, the instruction you are to try to open the door was applied to all three of you. It's just you're going in sequence.
Right. It would open the door.
Would it open the door or just get rid of the door?
That seems like the sensible way to start is to approach and examine it, and maybe have a look at the symbols that are on it, and press against it before trying to actually open it.
Oh, give me an occult roll. An extreme success. Yeah, you look at the symbols, and similarly, you immediately spot a pattern in the symbology of the door. You follow that spiral around as it tightens into the circle, and where the symbols end, your eyes continue to follow as these symbols glow to your mind and finish some sort of pattern. Roll me 4d10.
Nice.
Reduce your maximum sanity by 20 and increase your Cthulhu Mythos score by 20. As similarly to the other two, in the back of your mind.
That reduces my current sanity as well.
In the back of your mind, a door opens, and that fishhook tether hooks into the back of your spinal cord mentally. Again, the eyebrows shoot up. The archivist seems intrigued at this turn of events. Notes down some things. All right. Well, the three of you are going to report to the Deep Archives and see if anything speaks to you. And she gestures, and following her hand, you see at the far end of the archives that you're in now, there's a door that none of you have ever seen before. It looks like it looks like an ordinary door. You know for a fact, 5 minutes ago it was not there. Nobody else in the room other than the archivist seems to even know it's there or indicate in any way that there is a door there. Thinking back, you know for a fact it wasn't there, but you cannot remember not seeing it, which is very unsettling.
It's also par for the course. So
things being weird is par for the course, but remembering a thing didn't happen is a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
But Katie is heading towards the door. Ginny, Vanessa?
Yes.
Yes.
The three of you head to the door. Meanwhile, after you all have been gone for a little while, Lillian, Victor, and Lewis, were you intending to take your shot at potentially becoming a Peritiltarian?
Sure.
Are we being instructed to do so in any way, or is it purely optional?
You are being instructed to do so in the same way that the handler instructs anyone to do so, in that he laid forth an expectation before you, but didn't explicitly give you an order.
Is everyone else doing it?
Yes.
Yes, the best reason to do something.
Peer pressure.
Team building in
Team
HR.
building.
With extreme reluctance, realizing he would otherwise be the only one not on the field team doing so, and thus concerned about creating division within the group, Lewis will go as well.
Oh God, what if Lewis gets the most Cthulhu mythos? I really want this to happen.
On the way there, Lillian's gonna ask Lewis about FBC policy on hazing.
Oh, I mean, anti 100%. Are you experiencing some, Lillian? Because that is certainly one of the top concerns of, well, maybe not the handler, but definitely people within the organization. Absolutely. I'm a person. I'm concerned about it. So
I love how rapidly that deflated.
I love Lewis so much.
No, Lewis, I'm not experiencing hazing.
Well,
it's just vague instructions remind me of some of the college kids.
Sure, absolutely. And listen, Lillian, if you have a friend who's experiencing hazing,
oh no,
I would be more than happy to hear what your friend is going through as well.
Oh no.
Does Lillian have a friend who's experiencing hazing?
I feel like the answer is no.
My impulse is to be incredibly meta and describe the three people that were forced to just look at a door that they don't know how to open.
Well, y'all weren't there, so you didn't see that. So, but
no,
That's why I said it'd be meta.
To similarly be meta, I would assume that your friend is Lewis.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say. Like, does Lillian consider Lewis a friend? Because Lewis has 100% been hazed.
Yeah, yeah.
Lillian thinks for a moment. It's like, I'm not sure I consider them like a close friend, but I've known them for a little bit now.
Well, can we ever really know someone? Lewis gives you an entirely misinformed knowing look, assuming Lillian is speaking about themselves.
It completely glances by Lillian because Lillian's just equating the vague expectation with like actual college frats.
Victor, like, trying to stare into the middle distance and not burst out laughing right now. Uh, eventually, presumably, we arrive at door.
Yes, eventually you arrive at the archives and are ushered in to stand in front of the archivist, Sally McPherson, who is writing on her clipboard in a very much the same manner you sort of get as a doctor that has sat down across from you 5 minutes ago and hasn't said anything to you yet, but is continuing to write on a clipboard.
Like a psychology appointment.
Lewis will clear his throat after a moment.
There's a scratch as the pencil stops writing. All right. The three of you are going to attempt to open this door. And you look and you see the door in question. Again, a door you've never seen before, but is there and doesn't look like it belongs. This large monolithic stone. And she writes them down. Lewis, you first.
Oh, kind of looks at the other two. Sure. Lewis will walk over and just try to push it open.
Give me an occult roll.
Okay. Oh God.
Oh no.
That's
What's
success.
happening?
Lewis
I'm
got
not even supposed to be here today.
11 on a 16. Nice. Yeah, you go to push it and you sort of interface with the door a little bit. And it's got some weird writing on it. And as you interface with it and like so put your hand to it and like shove the door a little bit more. Nothing happens. Give me a
I guess.
give me a
Go ahead.
there are other factors at play. Give me a strength check.
My strong
Lillian
suit.
Lillian just kind of quietly
Jesus.
encourages Lewis. It's like, you can do this, Lewis, in a very flat tone. That is not so
Okay.
encouraging.
With said encouragement, you put your shoulder to the door and shove. And after about a minute of shoving, you are pretty confident that there is no back to this door. It's just a wall.
Hmm.
There's
Lewis.
more. Oh, God.
No.
No, there's
If
more.
it's something that he's experiencing, yeah.
There's more scratching on the note on the clipboard.
Lewis turns around and says, "Oh, it's a metaphor."
No, Lewis, you're done. Thank you. Step away.
Oh, okay.
Lillian?
Having watched Lewis, Lillian goes up and starts more closely examining the door.
Give me an occult roll.
Oh, you're in edit mode, not roll mode. There we go. And I can spend luck on this?
If you want.
Sure.
You spend luck to succeed. You look at it, study it. You pick up a little bit on this, like there's some sort of pattern in the door, but you're not quite seeing it. Nothing seems to be happening.
Lillian just turns over to the archivist. It's like, there's symbols on the door. I'm sure there's a pattern. I don't see it.
More scratching. Thank you. Victor, your turn.
All right. Victor opens the door.
Give me an occult roll.
Hard success.
Roll me 3d10.
No roll for regular.
No, I think Vanessa got a roll for regular success.
Okay, fair.
There are other factors
I
at
mean-
play.
I am pleased with this.
Victor, your your maximum sanity goes down by 20, and your Cthulhu Mythos goes up by 20. As you spot the pattern that was talked about by Lillian, and you follow it around, and there's a soft glowing of the runes to your eyes, and you get this mental image of a door in the back of your mind opening, and there's a tension as a fishhook latches into the back of your spine and tugs enough to make you aware, but not enough to pull you. And from it, knowledge goes.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay.
one more. Sally says. All right, Lewis and Lillian, you're dismissed. Victor, you need to go to the deep archives, she says, pointing. And if all three of you follow, Lillian and Lewis, she's pointing at a bookshelf. But Victor, you see a door that you
I
didn't
know
see
you said
before.
the deep archives, but what came through your mic was the barchives.
The barchive, not the deep archives.
The barchives sounds like a speakeasy in a library.
I was gonna say I want to visit the archives.
Yeah,
for
That sounds awesome, and I also want to go.
It's either a speakeasy in a library or a place where they breed hybrid bee dogs. The barchive.
I would go there too.
Victor walks down into the deep archives. I'm curious what the others see when Victor walks through a bookcase.
They don't. They see Victor step away towards the archives, and they lose sight of him at some point.
Lily doesn't even pay attention. I was like, okay, time to go.
Yeah, that well, thank you. I assume she's just ignoring us at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I think you did really well. Maybe I wasn't supposed to touch it.
Lewis.
Yes, Lillian.
It's paranormal bullshit.
Yeah.
Who knows what you should have done? There's probably 100 correct answers.
Would you like to get a decaf coffee?
Sure.
All right.
I was fully expecting, by the way, when I just said Victor opens the door, to be asked the question how, to which my answer was going to be platonically.
All right. Well, 4 out of 6 ain't bad. Granted, 4 out of 6 also were the only ones that met the criteria, but so
Curious what the criteria were.
who knows? I do. The 4 of you.
That's 100% then.
Yeah. The 4 of you.
Which characters is he planning on killing in the next couple of weeks?
First 3, then 1. Go through the door that you remember having been there, but don't remember ever having seen. And find yourselves in an elevator. Another one. This one doesn't have any buttons. It just goes as soon as you get in and the door closes behind you. So 3 of you step in, it goes. Later, 1 of you steps in, it goes. oddly, it's kind of similar to the front elevator. You all four arrive at the same time, even though you definitely didn't get on the elevator anywhere near to one another. But Kathleen, Virginia, Vanessa, and Victor all four step off of two different elevators as they step into the deep archives. You find yourselves standing on a bridge leading into what can only be described as a panopticon. It is a large tower in the center of a large column. There are what seem to be very obviously jail cells circling this column. But inside the jail cells are not people. Well, at least not people in the classic definition of people. The one immediately to your left has what looks like a blow-up doll in it, sitting on a platform with a sign that says, "Do not make eye contact."
Bring that back for Lewis.
I do not make eye contact, and in fact, stop looking at it.
I am very, very intrigued on what Zen's version of the storehouse in the Conjuring franchise looks like. So here we go.
I should note that it's quite clear that it can't only be described as a panopticon because you just described it.
I mean, fair enough.
Panopticon, though. He just defined the term.
Yeah. Yes. To the right, you have the sex toy that should not be looked at, and to the right, you have what appears to be a coffee table covered in bloodstains with no one nearby. Also in a jail cell.
Curiously, Katie is more okay with that one than the doll.
There are various redacted reports sort of attached to each cell with lots. There's no guards around, so you're free to approach and look at things if you so desire. But there seems to be redacted reports that reference other reports that are equally redacted, and there seems to be some sort of high-level encryption in docu-chaining sort of effect going on here that obfuscates most of the information regarding these particular objects, except for the very obvious ones, like the one that says "Don't look it in the eyes." Which, if any of you look back at it while trying not to look at the eyes, you do notice that it doesn't seem to be in the same position as it was the first time you looked at it. But anyways, that aside, continuing on, there is another jail cell that seems to also serve as an aquarium because there is a shark in it just swimming around. Oddly, based on the size of the other two rooms that you could see, there shouldn't be enough room in that cell for an aquarium with a shark that big. But again, you don't know. Continuing on, the bridge opens up into a chasm as you look down, and you're not quite certain how far down the column goes, and you look up and you're not quite certain how far up the column goes. But there is a tower ahead of you. Do you continue on to the tower or just look around for a bit?
I'm going to walk
There'll
around.
be time to look around. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to walk around the circle away from the doll. Katie is going out of her way not to perceive the doll at all. Anything else?
Yeah, the level that you are on does circle all the way around the central tower, though there's only one bridge that goes out to it from this angle. Looks like there might be another bridge from the other side.
Right.
But yeah, if you decide to sort of meander about without going directly towards the tower, you'll see a few more jail cells. Some of them are completely shuttered, with various warnings on the outside: do not open, do not perceive, do not think about. There is one that is open, inside of which there is a kitchen dinette set, with happy birthday hats on it, and a sign that says, "Please wish a happy birthday to Martha as you pass."
I do.
How do you wish happy birthday to Martha?
Happy birthday, Martha.
Blood sacrifice.
You hear the sound of like one of those ribbon blower things that people get. The kind of thing. Yeah. There doesn't seem to be one anywhere nearby, but you hear that when you say "Happy birthday, Martha."
There is time to look at for me. There's time to look at the other stuff later. I am going straight to the tower,
Yeah,
but
as
handle other people.
So Ginny's going straight to the tower. Kathleen is walking around the circle first. Victor?
Victor's going straight to the tower.
Vanessa?
She's going to the tower, but she is taking her time.
Okay.
Observing things as she goes.
So, Kathleen, you eventually lose track. Oh, sorry. We want to adjust what you were saying?
Oh, I was just going to say that I'm also interested in perusing the papers of the.
Sure. Yeah, and you'll see. There seems to be a very specific cipher that you need in order to translate anything, and anything that wouldn't need that cipher has been redacted. You imagine that whoever runs whichever employees run the Deep Archive have either a tacit understanding of what these things are that they don't need the paperwork for, or some means of reading it without needing to run back and forth between the tower. Because again, there's no one here right now. You walk past a few more closed doors, couple of empty cells that just don't have anything in them at all whatsoever. And then you get to the other side of the tower where there's another bridge that connects to the other side. Here you have on one side there is a mannequin wearing one of those mermaid performer outfits. It says a big sign saying, please keep all liquids 20 feet away from the cell.
I don't have any money other than me.
Do you get within 20 feet of the cell?
No. Is there enough room that I can walk past it without doing that?
No, it seems to be intentionally further away from the edge than the other cells, so that you can easily get around it without getting near.
I start to walk past it, walk closer, and then realize that I am liquids. And do not.
And then on the other side, if the mermaid suit was the blow up doll on the other side, then opposite where the table would have been is what seems to be a Ford Crown Victoria decorated like a New York cab. Which the sign outside just says exact cab fare only.
Fantastic.
It is also in a jail cell, so you're not certain why you would need exact cab fare only. But and yeah, you can continue to loop all the way back around to the first bridge, or you can take the bridge to the tower.
No, I'm gonna keep looking.
Big from a Buick 8 vibes, which I love.
What was that, Craig?
I just said big from a Buick 8 vibes, which I
love.
Katie is all about this, and she's not sure she'll be coming back here again later, so she doesn't want to waste it.
Fair.
She will, however, count so that she doesn't have to look at the blow-up doll.
As you...
One of the cells is a 4/4 string ostinato in D minor.
No. That's in a different location. You continue on. More obviously, not all the cells here are full. This is not the main holding for these kinds of things. This is more temporary until a group of rangers can take these from here to New York. Through one, you hear classical music being played. It sounds like a full orchestra, but when you look into the cell, there's just a cello that seems to be standing by itself with no stand behind it. There is a sign next to it that says "Applaud quietly as you pass."
That is done. I follow all the instructions.
As you applaud quietly as you pass, you hear like an audience applauding along with you. Sort of phantom audience as you swear that you don't see it move, but you get the sense that it's taking a bow. A couple more closed doors. There is a Domino's pizza box in the middle of an empty jail cell.
Yeah.
No signage. That one kind of puts you off a little bit. You don't know why.
It might be a minute or two before I order Domino's next.
Definitely explains that, how they
and then the
changed so much in a short time.
And then 2 cells down, it is full of creepy baby dolls, all of which are staring at you.
I don't like it.
Like,
What makes them creepy?
some of them are missing eyes, lots of them are missing hairs, most of them are missing clothes. Some of them look like they've been
Age
through.
stains,
Some of them look
slightly
like
burned.
some of them look like they've been through a couple of different fires. They're all stained and muddied and damaged. None of them are intact, except for one porcelain doll in a blue dress with white frill that is sort of like sitting in the middle of it, whose head is turning as you walk past.
Ooh. I might speed up a little bit.
There is a sign there saying, "Do not play patty cake."
Hands go in pockets.
The porcelain doll reminds me of a teddy bear that a buddy found in a abandoned building that had occult stuff all over.
And yeah, it definitely it's like somebody took the entire storage warehouse of a child's doll shop and shoved it into one jail cell, with the porcelain doll oddly center place. Couple other completely closed off cells. One in which you just hear screaming. It sounds like someone on fire, but there is nothing visible in the room. The sign says, "Don't think about it."
I wasn't planning on it.
Couple others. In the last one before you get back to the main platform, there is a sign that looks like all the signs that have been on the other cells, but it is inside the jail cell, and on it it just says, "I have been bad and writing bad signs."
That one gets a laugh.
And then you get back to the bridge.
I'll go across now.
The others of you have made it to the tower well before Kathleen gets back. There is a sort of like a locking, the kind of locking door that you would find in like a pressurized vessel, like a submarine, with the big wheel lock on it, and a little window slit above, that is currently closed.
Sorry, what's on it?
It is a pressure sealed door with a wheel lock, and a little view window that is currently closed.
Is it openable from our side or the other side?
The wheel lock's on your side, so.
The
thing. Yeah, it's open on your side.
Check first before open.
Yep. You open it. You see a field of grass, and like insects, almost like a picturesque park view.
I will shut it in a second. Somebody open it and see what they see.
If you said anything, William, I didn't hear anything.
Victor will walk over and open it.
You open it. You see a picturesque field with grass and insects and the kind of place you might want to take a picnic.
Looks like an open field.
All right, so it's not different for all of us. Good.
Close.
Kunk, kunk.
Cycle the wheel. By the time you cycle the wheel, Kathleen's caught up. Spin it until it locks, or spin it until it clicks. All the things have unlocked. You pull it open. There's that pop of pressure being released as the door opens, and the sound of the air pressure equalizing as you open the door. And on the inside, there is a monitoring station. There's banks of computers. There are a couple of people wearing like sort of. For a second, you think it's Lewis because because the only people that you've seen wearing like proper like business office attire, as opposed to just like more formal attire that you all typically wear in the office. But they're definitely not. They seem to be the people that work here in the Deep Archives, who turn and look at you and go, "Oh, more utilitarians. Great. Come on in. We'll get the coffee machine's over here. If you want some coffee, we'll go get the testers for you.
Excellent. Step in.
Oh, sorry, protocol. What did you see when you looked through the viewplane?
Field insects.
Field. Yeah.
Picturesque, idyllic. Okay, cool. All right, and yeah, he'll head downstairs and just tell me break rooms over there. There's a fridge, snacks, drinks, whatever you need. We'll be back. Just give me a minute, and yeah, he'll head down the stairwell.
I'll get some coffee.
I'm gonna check what snacks they've got.
They have at the moment they have apples, bananas, some Rice Krispie treats, and some like bag chips.
I was hoping for chocolate.
No, there doesn't seem to be any chocolate of any kind.
Oh no, that's what Katie
Yeah.
says.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Did you say that out loud?
Yeah.
One of the observers at the desk turns and looks at you. Yeah, no, we can't have that on account of inmate 113.
Not that I would trust chocolate that would be found down here, but what's up with inmate 113?
Oh, inmate 113 is it's a bakery oven that was found in a haunted patisserie. It doesn't like subpar chocolate being in the area.
Yeah.
Damn, I wish I was there because I could say something about baked bads.
It really doesn't like subpar chocolates being in the area. Like, we lost 3 staff members. It doesn't like it.
Fair enough.
Oh,
How is the coffee?
Does it present its own superior chocolate?
No.
So it can dish it, but it can't take it. Everybody's a critic.
Coffee's fine. Just, standard.
Just fine. Just
It's not great coffee. It's not bad coffee. It's just
perfectly acceptable coffee. That's fine.
Perfectly acceptable coffee. Yeah.
Has anyone now I'm just inquisitive. Has anyone ever figured out what category and or quality of chocolate meets its standards?
They won't produce any, so, and we haven't asked after it killed 3 of us, so.
Fair enough.
He has like a look at it. He has like that sort of 1,000-yard stare that tells you he's reliving a moment at some point in the past however many years he's been here. Then yeah, he just turns back.
We've all been there.
You haven't been anywhere near 113.
No,
I
I'm
think she
talking
meant
about just
metaphorically.
metaphorically. We have all metaphorically been near a ascension oven that has eaten 3 people.
What's the metaphor in that case?
I know it didn't.
death?
It didn't
Yeah.
eat. It didn't
You-
eat. It didn't eat anybody.
Oh, then most of us have been there. Not all of us.
No, telekinetic meat grinder. It was unpleasant.
I
My
imagine.
next
I'm
thought was
picturing
Sweeney
roast
Todd.
beef.
Seems like a bad way to go.
It was.
All I can imagine is now the oven bakes meat pies from Sweeney Todd.
Meanwhile, Lillian and Lewis, what are y'all doing?
Apparently getting coffee.
Yeah.
But before we cut the last scene,
Sure.
when Lillian said, "Sure, we'll get coffee," can Lewis have said, "I know a great place," and now we smash cut to sitting in the employee lounge.
Absolutely. You are in the employee lounge just off of the what's the word? I feel like cafeteria is not the word that I'm thinking of, but it is similar to the word that I'm thinking of.
Mess hall.
No.
Commissary?
Yes. Next to the office commissary. where there is a coffee machine.
I was going to say that for dramatic irony purposes, it was coffee and cheap chocolate.
I mean, yeah, there are chocolates around, like this, there's all manner of. This is a well stocked like snack area.
So how are you doing after that whole door thing?
Fine. I didn't expect much. I'm not familiar with occult stuff, so I wasn't not really a great candidate.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very happy for our colleagues, but I think it's better that we sort of diversify as a group, right? All of us focus on slightly different things. And go ahead.
I was gonna say, as long as like we have all of our bases covered, then sure.
Yeah.
But if we diversify too far and we end up with gaps, that can be detrimental too.
Right. Absolutely. And how are you doing with the whole Vanishing County situation? We've been back for a few weeks now.
It's a lot to process. Like it's like they say it's a Vanishing County, but I'm also not from the area to know much about the area, like the state anyways. So to me, it's just another odd part of the Midwest.
That certainly seems like there are quite a few of them. How long? I'm pretty sure, unless it would be secret information, I'm pretty sure that Lewis would know. How long has Lillian been here? It's been about 2 years, is that right?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay. So do you get back home much at all? Any interest?
I try to get back every once in a while. I wasn't not particularly close to my family, so there's not a whole lot to go back to.
Both of you make a perception check for me while you're having this conversation.
Spot hidden?
Yeah, it's fine. Actually, no. Listen.
Okay.
Nope.
Barely.
Fortunately, this was a tuning out roll. Lillian, you managed to. The commissary is active. There are people here. They're having food. They're getting snacks. They're getting drinks. Whatever. You're able to pretty well tune it all out and focus on what you're doing. Lewis, while Lillian is talking, you suddenly hear a familiar sound as that fucker Ian from accounting is sipping his tea so loudly that it should be against regulations, but it isn't yet. He is just across the room, and you can hear him. There's like 15 people in the immediate area, but somehow he sips loud enough for it to go right into your ear.
Turns out
Blood sacrifice is the only answer.
Yeah.
Blood sacrifice is always the answer.
Yep.
You just pull out the Sphinx and start unloading.
Lillian, that is just an excellent point. Will you excuse me just 1 second? Hey, sure. Ian, and he just sort of leans back. Ian, hey pal, how's it going? Everything good? Yeah, you remember how we talked about it before? Remember misophonia, not just a fun word, but an actual practicable issue that a lot of people here in the office experience. So let's all let's all create a just a welcoming environment for everybody. Okay, what do you say, buddy?
Make either a charm or an intimidation roll. Your pick.
Okay. Uh, okay.
I love that you got a 60 on your 70. Remember to mark your things successful, by the way, including the including
The initial occult roll.
The initial occult roll, yeah.
I did. I have occult and psychology
Yep.
both marked.
Including if you use luck to succeed them. Yeah. So yeah, with that, he you think you might have gotten through to him, or he was just finishing his drink anyways, because he does pick his stuff up and leave.
Hey, all right, pal. I'll see you. I'll see you. I hope never. As he turns back to Lillian. I apologize, Lillian. We were talking about you.
It might be more important to make sure that you're all right.
Oh, I think I'm going to be all right. I think I'm going to be. I seems like feeling has come back in all the extremities. So that's good. You know what?
Your teeth do still feel sharp, though.
Okay, and so there's a sort of everything's come back in the extremities, and there's just sort of a momentary issue where it's like clear his tongue is sort of probing the exterior of the teeth inside the mouth. Yeah, and just like with any sort of recovery and healing, you have to give it time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was, field work. It has its share of challenges. I was not expecting to be so many of them to be tongue based, but
Lillian can give me a spot hidden roll.
Oh!
Okay. You're not sure.
Enough luck for that.
Can I push this?
Yeah, if you want. There's no consequences for failure on this one.
Oh, okay. That was a little better. Oh well.
You do notice that for some reason, as Lewis starts to talk about tongue-based challenges, the room got emptier. Anyways, continue.
May I notice as well?
No, because it was happening behind you.
Okay, all right, fair.
I just watched everyone evacuate the room behind Lewis.
Not everyone, but there's definitely significant. There were like 15 people in the employer that you're in right now. Like 5 of them walked out very quickly after Lewis said something about tongue-based challenges. You're pretty certain they were all women. Not 100% on that one, but
Lewis, what are you up to?
Lillian makes a mental note to keep an ear out for any rumors of Lewis and tongues.
Anyways, Craig, you were saying.
So we're just working back through it, and I guess I wanted to make sure as a fellow first timer out in the field that you were still planning on heading back out there.
I mean, by the sounds of it, they need me to head back out there. They need both of us. And our comrades that are in this deep archive.
The archive.
Yeah, that's, and I bet that is a real experience for them right now. And he takes a long pull of the aggressively bland decaf coffee that he's drinking.
And as you take that aggressively pull, we hard cut to someone else aggressively pulling from relatively bland coffee. As we come back to those in the Deep Archive who are having a cup and pondering the existence of a telekinetic meat grinder. As the tech that had gone downstairs first comes back up, wiping grease off of his hands. All right, the four of you, field agents, follow me. And he
All right.
tosses the rag into a basket that has a sign on it that says contamination, and then leads down the stairs.
On we go.
It's a spiral staircase that just goes down from the observation post. A few ways. As you go down, you pass a few more what seem to be interior cells for smaller objects. There's no signs or anything on them, but there's like bulletproof glass and bars on every single one of them. And you see, a get well soon card, a deck of playing cards, a few other like just odd various knickknacks that don't seem to be particularly dangerous, obviously, but someone, at some point they probably were. Until you get down to a bit of a more open room, and you're not certain how many floors you've gone down, but you end up in a slightly more open space with four cargo containers. The big steel like ship crates, ship
Yeah.
containers.
Mhm.
Crates.
Each one a different color. And each one of them has like a big like knife marked in chalk on it. Another one has an anchor marked in chalk on it. Let me see. You got that one. We've got one that has a face, like the outline of a face on it. And
I know.
Uh-huh.
I know I'm not there. I just, for clarity's sake, for visualization, it's just an image is marked in chalk, or it's like a chalk marking as if a knife died and the police marked out where it was, so an outline.
An image in chalk.
Okay, all right.
Not a chalk outline.
It's a knife, a face.
Yeah, sorry. A knife, a face, an anchor.
Anchor.
Sorry, I'm having to scroll through things because this is not a well laid out book. Yeah. A knife, an anchor, a face, and what looks like it's like multiple lightning bolts. I was like, all right. So inside each of those containers is an altered item. We're still in the classification process, so whether or not it's going to be an OP or an AP or an AI is up for debate, and honestly, largely not important to you. One at a time. Go in, see if it resonates with you. You'll know what it means. You'll know what that means. If it does. If it doesn't, leave calmly, quietly. Don't try to anger it. Don't say anything mean. We don't know the particulars of these items just yet, but they're the only ones we have available for testing for para-utilitarians at the moment. So, as we get more, we'll call you back down, have you test, do whatever. But these are the four right now we've got access to. So one at a time, and if you bind to it, that's it. You can't do another one, and no one else can do that one. We until we know more, we don't want to risk multi-binding right now. So he's oddly nervous, or maybe not oddly nervous. He's definitely nervous that something in here is going to kill him and maybe you. So who wants to go first?
Okay.
I'll go
Sure.
first. Oh,
Go ahead.
Kathleen. So you have 4 containers in front of you: knife, anchor, face, and lightning bolt. Which one do you want to try?
do I try the anchor or the face? I'll try the anchor.
Okay. You go into the shipping container, and there, as you go in, the door closes behind you. Someone out there has closed the door. It's not you don't hear it locked. They've just closed it so that no one else interferes with whatever's going to happen. It is dimly lit. There's running lights along the upper corners of the container, and in the back of the container, sort of like leaning against the side, is a large ship's anchor that is covered in barnacles and seems to be continually dripping wet, as if it was just fished out of the water.
I will approach it and see if I can catch more details.
Yeah, you get closer. Give me a what's kind of a roll? What kind of a roll would this be? Let me check. You can give me either a praise or natural world roll.
Yep, this is not the one I'm keeping.
45. It's an anchor. You're not this is just for gleaning more details by looking at it. You're not familiar with, it looks old, given that it's covered in barnacles.
I wonder if you're as old as you look. I guess I'll reach out towards it
Okay.
and see if anything happens.
Okay. While you're reaching out
Not going
towards
to touch it yet.
not going to touch it. Is there any intentionality or anything you're trying to envision? Give me just really quickly. Give me a education roll for you. Hard success. So all para-utilitarians that you're familiar with, that you've read about, they all have described previously in vague terms, the act of utilizing their powers as being as much about intentionality as formula. And that just sort of pops into your brain as you're holding a hand out towards it.
In that case, I'm going to approach it with the idea of stability, of staying where you want to stay. Okay. Because you want to stay there.
Give me an occult check. Initiative success. So yeah, you're holding this firm image of stasis in mind. And as you do, give me that's the wrong book. Hang on. I need this book. This is the book I need.
The book name.
Give me a go ahead and roll your power for me. All right. Go ahead and roll me a d10. All right. Your Cthulhu Mythos skill ticks up 5 as your maximum sanity is reduced by 5. And you, do you currently have any magic points?
No. It looks like I have a maximum of 16? Question mark?
Yes. You gain 16 magic points. As knowledge of warding comes into your mind. And I am going to... And you feel this connection latch. That open door in the back of your mind suddenly slams shut, pulling that fish hook taut. There is a firm connection now in your brain to this thing, whatever it is that's reaching out to you through the anchor. You now have the spell warding. I'm just going to type this out real quick. There you go. So warding. Cost is 1 magic point per stone. Casting time is 5 rounds. A number of ordinary white stones are placed on the ground as the caster pleases, except that each must be within a yard of each of the others. When cast, a shimmering heat haze can be seen over the stones. Thereafter, if any stone is moved, the caster will be aware of the fact, even if asleep until then. Once this has occurred, the spell is broken. So the knowledge of how to do this and the cost has been imprinted on your mind as if you have always known how to do it. And the anchor stops dripping. It looks like it's completely dry now. It still looks ancient and covered in particles, but there's been a physical reaction to its connection to you.
Still going to reach out and touch it just because.
Yeah, you touch it. There's no physical reaction, but spiritually, there's this thrum of connection and power.
I'll just take a moment because it feels right to just something there has been a connection and it feels right to be respectful of that.
Mm-hmm.
And before I head out of the thing to inform the rest of the group that one is spoken for now.
Yep. Those of you that are outside, the technicians seem to know that something has happened. Before Kathleen even opens out, they go out and one of them goes up and just really quickly chalks some coded message on the side of the container, pulls up a clipboard and starts writing in it. And then the door of the container opens and Kathleen walks out.
Did it work?
I guess y'all have to choose a different one now.
Cool. Well, now I'm curious.
I suspect it's going to be different for everyone. So
Yeah.
maybe we should talk about it later.
Well, I guess I'll go then.
Which of the remaining 3 would you like to walk into?
Victor will walk into the face box.
All right. You walk into the face box. Door closes behind you. In the face box, there is a mirror, a standing mirror, sort of an old Victorian style standing mirror at the far end. Light seems to warp oddly in it, and as you begin an approach, you can see that it is reflecting, but it's not reflecting you. It's reflecting somebody else that is mirroring your movements, or reflecting potentially another iteration of you, or another iteration of someone else in this box at a different time.
Aren't you interesting? Victor says as he sort of like just walks up to a few feet away from it, just to where like full body takes up full mirror.
Oh, yeah, it's a completely different person that you're seeing there. No identification of who it is. Doesn't even like. You're not able to make out any like physiological signs of sex, gender, any indication of any of that. It's very vague. It's almost like you're looking at somebody in character, like somebody that in a character creator that has been that's like sort of constantly shifting through bits and pieces of themselves.
Yeah, I think I can sort of see what you might be good at. As he sort of starts to like adjust the way he's standing, pose, like sort of like adjust his own stance with the intentionality of sort of like envisioning this as change, adaptation, the kind of thing that allows one to shift and adjust.
Want to give me a power roll?
Hard success.
All right. You adjust your you sort of adjust your stance and uh mimic almost kind of like try to mentally mimic what you're seeing in the mirror, and as you do you see the figure in the mirror begins to solidify um and begins to solidify into yours, and then as you think about it you watch your reflection shift, and now you look kind of like Lewis, and you look down and you're wearing Lewis's outfit.
Hell yeah.
And you like you blink out of it for a second and you're back to yourself, and the mirror is back to yourself, and you feel that door in the back of your mind slam shut and that fishhook go taut.
I'll swear Lewis looks down and is like, where's my clothes?
There goes the other half the people in the commissary.
You have learned the Velusian mantle.
Or maybe twice as many people come in. You don't know.
Twice as many people come in. They're all
also,
HR to have a very serious conversation.
Magic points refill to full, or go to full for the first time, and roll me a d10.
D10.
Is it Venusian mantle or Velusian?
Velusian mantle. Oh, I'm typing it up. 10. You add 10 to your Cthulhu mythos and reduce your maximum sanity by 10. What is your maximum mana points right now?
17.
Okay.
It would be amazing if it was just the Lewisian mantle and all it did was let you turn into Lewis.
Damn it, Craig.
No, that's the one Lewis gets.
It's not doing anything. Oh, why? Oh, man. Why do I have a headache, though? It's like feedback.
My sanity is now nice.
I'm just typing it out right now. The Velusian Mantle cost 10 magic points for every 6 hours of operation and 1 sanity. The casting time is 1 minute. The caster can assume the living likeness of a person that they have seen, dead or alive, as seen by eye, video camera, X-ray, etc. The target may be no more than 15 size points different from the caster. The illusion lasts for as long as the user can maintain the spell, though upon losing 1 or more hit points, the caster's original form is resumed. The transfer back takes 20 seconds. So it costs 10 mana points for 6 hours of operation and 1 sanity every time you do it. And before we go to the next 2 items, that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break for the evening. So, those that are watching live, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. And remember, when we take our break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. we're back. A dinosaur story. We return to the bowels of the deep archive, where two of our newly branded para-utilitarians have an option before them. The container with the face, again, the people that work here seem to know a little bit more about what's going on than the two of you do, at least, because they know that Victor has made a choice, apparently, and mark the container, which leaves just the knife and the lightning bolts as Victor eventually comes back out of the container. Who would like to go next?
Vanessa.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you going, Vanessa?
Knife.
You go into the container with the knife marked on the side of it. The door closes behind you. Inside, you find a butcher's knife jammed into a butcher's block, covered in blood, with a sign that says "Do not touch."
She will respect the sign.
What you doing?
Disrespect your surroundings.
She will get close to it and study it visually right now.
It seems to be it's hard to see the knife itself because it's inside the block, but it does. It seems to be some sort of one of the larger knives, not a bread knife or anything like that. It's one of the larger chef's knives. It doesn't seem to have been originally in this block. You can tell that there's some damage to the block itself that the knife is in, and it seems like it was injected into the knife at high pressure or speed. The knife seems to be perfectly fine. The block is held together with duct tape.
When the sign says "Do not touch," does it mean the knife or the block? Or just the whole thing?
Make a psychology roll with a penalty die.
I don't even need a penalty die, but okay.
Unless you try to analyze the intentionality of the sign.
That's actually fairly close.
Do you want to spend 12 luck points? Oh, well, do you want to spend 22 luck points?
It'd be 22 luck points.
Yep.
You
don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, if
no.
you do, you get a chance to improve your psychology.
Well, yes. No, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you succeed.
Yeah.
Both? Maybe also don't touch the sign.
Yeah.
Not touching things in this entire container seems a safe choice.
But did you really come in for the knife for the safe choice?
I mean, that's a fair point.
She will continue to slowly circle around it while trying to mentally form some bond with this.
Okay. What are you thinking of?
The
Big
knife's last.
stabby thoughts.
The knife's last kill.
Okay. Make me a power roll.
Oh, jeez.
Make me a dexterity check.
Are you freaking?
Someone's getting stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
Much luck you got.
Are you feeling lucky?
I got 61 right now.
Well, it's only 34 to make that dex check.
Or you can save it for something else.
Yeah, I'm trying to save
Or-
it right now.
Or you could push it.
You could push it.
I'm
if you
not
want.
pushing this. How do I put what do I roll to push?
You roll it
So-
again, but if you fail, you will suffer a
Okay.
grievous injury.
I'm not gonna push. I don't want to push. I don't feel lucky.
Probably wise. What is? Yeah, I'm gonna look at your character sheet real quick. Where's a match when I need one? You suffer 1 point of damage. That ignores your armor. As you swear that knife swung at you, and you raise your hand to sort of defend yourself, and there's a cut across your palm. And when you sort of step back, the knife is still in the butcher block, but you are bleeding.
Cool. Okay.
You get the
To
inclination.
double check.
You get the inclination that it doesn't like you.
Yeah. If I leave the room, can I try to bond with the other remaining item?
What
Okay.
was the implication?
Okay. Then she's gonna walk away. She's not gonna push this.
All right. You exit the container much earlier than the rest of you exited your containers, or the two of you that went already. And it seems like they've already opened the door of the other container for you.
She'll go in there.
One of them offers you like a bandage, like a cloth to wrap your hand up in.
She will.
He just goes, "Yeah, that one's bitey."
I noticed.
All right, you go into the other one. Inside the other is a car battery on a table with jumper cables attached to it.
Okay. She will do the same thing she was doing before. She'll get close. She won't touch. She will walk around it, observing it.
Okay. What are you thinking about while you're observing it? The car battery's last kill.
I mean,
She's thinking about Victor's stupid car right now.
uh-oh.
Okay. Make a power roll.
The car explodes.
Oh, thank
Or
goodness.
even worse,
Extreme success.
You are psychically connected to the car now.
You now speak car fluently, but can only say curses.
I mean, do cars say anything else?
Look, I'm not
Brum, brum.
crazy about you either.
Okay. So you're thinking about the car. What specifically are you thinking about in regards to the car?
How it works, basically.
Look, I was thinking about the mechanical engineering of the car, how it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. How the engine runs, how the whole.
All right. Okay. Sorry, just a small peek behind the scenes. Each item has a list of things that it could potentially give you, based on your interactions with it. I'm trying to translate that thought into an item, a spell.
To help, she's thinking about very mechanically.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So, You're thinking about mechanics of the car. You're thinking about your brother's car. You're thinking about the fact that it recently had to jump it to get it to work again, because you're looking at the car battery. And as you do, the two the opposite ends of the jumper cable, the ones that aren't connected to anything, just begin to spark and bounce. And as it sparks and bounce, that door in the back of your head slams shut, and that hook pulls taut. As you are given the knowledge of how to resurrect somebody from death.
It's alive.
That'll come in handy.
Let me type the spell in here. What?
I feel like that's going to come with a lot of catches.
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh,
it's probably
yeah.
fine.
Just hook
There's
up
going to be a
jumper
sanity cost for
cables.
this one.
Right, this is a long one. Give me a second. While that's happening,
alive,
while that's
and it
happening,
gets 15 miles to the gallon.
while I'm typing stuff up, really quickly, let's cut back to the thrilling adventures of Lewis and Lillian. What are y'all doing while I'm typing?
So I think so often the maker's mark, people talk about it and they don't like it as much, but I feel like generally it's going to be just as fine as the name brands and so on. Still talking about the decaf coffee.
Talking about what?
The decaf coffee.
Oh. You said Maker's Mark, and my thought went to the whiskey.
No, I'm talking about the
less interesting version.
The bulk membership store brand.
Lillian will comment that like Chicago definitely has better places for coffee.
Yeah,
That is a nice thing about the big city.
that's true. Seems like everybody else is well, I just thought maybe we might want to stay nearby just in case.
Oh, probably. We don't know when they'll get done, and when they get done, I imagine we'll get called to Klaus's office before long too.
Probably. Are you ready to head back out if they're sending us back out?
Are you ready to head back out after what happened?
I think so. I've gotten some pretty good rest. Had time to work on brush up on some manuals, try to make sure that we're maybe a little bit better prepared for next time. So I renewed my first aid certification. Took some CPR classes. So I think we're going to be doing A-okay. How about you?
Yeah. I also brushed up on my first aid. I couldn't find an AED class. Do you know when those are supposed to be scheduled?
The problem is so many of them get replaced and scheduled by AWE classes. And it just gets confusing for scheduling. So yeah, the last time I showed up for one, they were talking about inversal gravity. So we'll work on it. I'll make sure to talk to him and try to.
It might just be easier to see if like the local Red Cross is having them then.
Yeah, you're right. And there's always YouTube.
All right. We cut back.
Hey.
Unless you wanted to finish that.
But no, you don't want to keep going on that for the next half hour?
No, I don't.
Can I make a psychoanalysis?
I do.
To see if I'm helping?
Sure.
I absolutely want to stick on that for. I just want to listen to that for fucking ever.
You are extremely kind, or extremely masochistic.
I love the idea of doing, of learning how to do use life-saving technology with you two.
Yes, especially a life-saving technology that is equally capable of killing somebody.
Yeah, that's just such a good plan.
I'm definitely spending my 23 luck on that, by the way. Or 22 luck.
22. Yeah. You succeeded a psychoanalysis roll. What are you trying to do? Just trying to restore sanity to Lillian?
Yeah.
Lillian, how far below your max sanity are you right now?
I am at 62 of 99.
Okay. Roll a d10. You're now at 66.
Lillian is moderately reassured that someone else is taking up the first aid.
But yeah, other than that, that's the main thing I wanted
We got back.
to try to do.
So, Vanessa. As these crackling jumper cables bounce around for a few seconds and then stop, knowledge of the spell enters your mind. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll a d10.
All right. Two.
Your Cthulhu Mythos skill goes up 2. Your maximum sanity goes down 2. And you learn Resurrection. Resurrection costs 3 magic points and 1d10 sanity points. Casting time is 1 or 2 rounds. The spell reduces a corpse to its essential salts and compounds, a bluish-gray powder, or reverses the process to yield ultimately the form and soul of the deceased. A complete corpse is necessary. Being resurrected in this way costs the victim 1d10 sanity points. If only
1d10 or 1d20?
1d20, sorry, 1d20 sanity points. If only parts of the ashy powder is available for the spell, the sorcerer gets only the liveliest awfulness from what's then made flesh. But the successfully resurrected need not be all in one piece. As long as the coffin is intact and sufficient care is taken to scrape together all the fragments and dust within, the spell succeeds. Reciting the spell backwards returns the resurrected entity to dust, and likewise requires the expenditure of 3 magic points and 1d10 sanity points. The dust can be retained or thrown away. For the spell to take effect, can be retained or thrown away. For the spell to take effect, the caster must succeed in an opposed power roll with the target. If the caster wins, the victim returns to dust. If the victim wins, it may try to prevent the caster from reciting the spell again. Reciting the spell backwards takes 2 rounds. So yes, were Lewis to say to die, you could resurrect him with the spell, and then were he to say annoy you, you could try to kill him again with the spell, should you so desire.
I would object to Lewis being used, but honestly, both cases, fair.
I was gonna say,
Lewis is going to be the test subject for all of these.
is Lewis really worth the sanity?
Lewis is, I think I've said this before, and this is saying something, probably my dumbest character concept, and is inexplicably, especially in a COC game, probably going to be my longest lived character, even though I'm like desperately waiting for him to die.
I don't know. Drummond was relatively long-lived,
That's-
considering he was over a couple hundred.
Yeah, but not a Call of Cthulhu game.
Yeah. I mean, like a 5e game, it's hard to die permanently in 5e. No offense, Jeremy.
No, that is absolutely fair and true.
If you want, I can kill him now.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, not right now. You can't. You have to revive him first, and then you can do it.
Well, no,
Okay,
we can
die
just walk
some
up
other
to him,
way.
stab him in the face.
There you go.
Yeah, somebody has to kill him, and then she can resurrect
Yeah.
him.
I got a stun baton and a sphinx. I can
Yeah,
do it right
I was
here
gonna say,
in the commissary.
Yeah, sure. She has a magical artifact. She also has a big ass gun.
In fairness, we don't know that your character from Sun's other Call of Cthulhu game is dead. Didn't they make it through the whole thing?
Yeah,
Could be alive.
that is true.
And sleep with an old
I'm
lady.
pre- I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure Mara has killed him for his money at this point.
Okay, true.
Anyways. The door opened. Chalk marks go up. The door opens. Vanessa comes back out with unsettling new knowledge. And Ginny, you are left with
Yep.
one door that Vanessa previously came out of with a bloody hand.
Sorry.
That's quite all right.
You go in. Door closes
May
behind you.
acquire Kanife.
There is a knife in a butcher's block that is sealed in duct tape and covered in blood. Some of it more fresh than others.
So we're going to examine it slowly first.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have an approach, but we will see.
Okay. So, what are you thinking about as you examine it?
At first, I think with Ginny, I think at first she's deliberately keeping her mind empty while she while she looks it over, see if there are any little details, anything like that. There is at first the librarian, the antiquities person who wants to take it all in, and then he will make presumptions.
Well, give me an appraise roll while you look at it.
Okay. Not great at this. That
But a hard
said,
success.
With a hard success, you'd value this at probably sold for about $29.99, but you'd probably say it's actually worth about $5, depending on whether
because
or
of
not,
damage and
Yeah, I mean, no, not even just because of damage. Whether or not the metal is actual, like, the kind of metal that is the quality of metal that is needed to be in a food serving implement, or if it's much cheaper metal, but you can't really analyze that because it's currently stuck in a butcher's block, and the butcher's block is
Right.
worth right now nothing.
nothing because it's a butcher's
'Cause
block.
it's broken, and it's so
Is there anything about it other than no, it's butcher knife that would indicate where it's the famous knife of a serial killer or something like that? Some kind of history note.
now that you can tell, it looks like an ordinary ass butcher's knife. It doesn't look to be particularly famous, and like you're racking your brain. No,
Right.
nothing that comes out as indicates particular, which from what you have seen of other altered items, that tends to be it. It's not that the altered items don't tend to be famous items that are also magical. They're just ordinary ass everyday items that become touched by something other and become
Right.
magical.
Also, ordinary butcher knife is coated in probably human blood.
I'm going to now it's a specifically what does the note say? Like word for word, because I want to make sure.
Do not touch.
Okay. I don't think this counts as touching, but we will find out. I am going to reach into my pocket, pull out a knife, cut myself, and bleed on it because I want to see how it reacts.
Bleeding on the other knife.
On the knife, yes.
Okay. Deal
On the butcher knife.
1 hit point of damage to yourself and make a power roll.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Sacrifice. Blood sacrifice.
Hmm.
You have
Yeah,
that
I
pile
will
of luck
spend
to
I will
frivolously
spend 22 luck to succeed on that.
All right. Get that success. Let me take a look here. That points me directly at a spell. Let me just pull it up.
Corpse explosion.
Okay. Um, as you focus on this and focus your power into the act of bleeding on this knife,
Mm-hmm.
you suddenly the blood begins to pour much faster than it was. No longer drips.
And I
This
die.
is no, you're fine. No longer drips. This is a river coming out of your palm. You lose 5 more points of hit. 5 more hit points.
Well, okay.
And you
Being
feel
healthy was fun while it lasted.
You feel drained. The blood soaks into the blade and disappears like water on wood. Just bleeds into it and is absorbed and is gone. And as it does so, the knife that you're holding takes on a jagged sheen. The light hits it and seems to reflect off of teeth that aren't there. And you feel it weigh slightly heavier. And feel hungry.
Okay.
You have learned the the door on the back of your head slams shut. The hook tightens. Make a D10.
Right.
Roll a D10.
Ten.
All right. You increase your Cthulhu Mythos knowledge by 10 and reduce your maximum sanity by 10.
Yep.
You have learned the knowledge of the spell Bless Blade comes to your mind.
Okay.
I'm going to type it out, and then I'll read it to you once I'm done typing it out. This one's shorter than the last one.
That's definitely creepier than I tend to think when I think of a blessing. But maybe that's just me.
Well, it
Look,
depends.
there are many ways to anoint something for a blessing.
Maybe you're blessing your knife to have teeth and drink people's blood like a vampire.
Jeremy does keep saying blood sacrifice, so this is pretty fitting for that type of blessing.
You're not wrong.
This is very correct for Jeremy the player.
Bless Blade costs 5 power, which is spent, and 1d4 sanity points. Casting time is an hour. It creates a blade capable of damaging or killing entities that cannot be harmed by mundane weapons. It requires
Perfect.
the blood sacrifice of an animal at least size 50, and the blade of the knife must be of an elemental metal such as iron or silver. The blade may be of any size, however, larger blades do greater damage. If the blade is broken, melted, or otherwise damaged, it permanently loses its ability. However, it will not be harmed in attacks against supernatural entities. The cost of power can be replaced with a payment of health. For every hit point spent by the caster, the power cost is reduced by 1.
And to be clear, you can The health can be restored. I assume the power cannot.
Restoring power is more complex than restoring health. Yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
And in this case,
That feels very appropriate. for-
you are is your size at least 50?
Yes, I believe so.
You are
Size 50 exactly.
you are an animal of at least size 50, and you sacrificed blood, so you fulfilled the requirement. It doesn't have to be the full-on death of an animal, but just
Okay. So I've got this.
and your knife is now blessed.
And
Oh,
that
so
is
did each of us-
permanent for now
Until it's destroyed.
until it's destroyed. Can I do it
Time to
to
go kill a
other
sheriff.
blades and still maintain it on this one?
Yes.
Okay.
It does
Do
not.
these
It does
count
not.
as successful first casts of all of these spells?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Which has a mechanical thing.
I
but don't
didn't
remember
cast
what it
mine
is.
yet.
Basically, until you've
Oh, yeah.
you've successfully cast a spell that you've learned, to try and cast it requires a hard power check rather than a normal one.
Yeah, that you have all, even if you haven't actually cast it, you're all considered to have successfully cast these spells, because the knowledge of casting them has been injected into your minds by the objects that you are attuned to.
Sweet.
But yes, you, Jeremy, you have your knife has been blessed. It doesn't increase the damage at all. It just makes it able to damage certain things that wouldn't be damaged by it otherwise, and also wouldn't be
Perfect.
damaged by your gun.
Perfect.
Hey, Jeremy.
I need to improve my fighting skill. Yes.
/tag blessed.
I do like Lillian's blood cannot be used as a sacrifice for the
Is
spell.
Lillian smaller than size 50?
Lillian is size 40.
Yep,
Nice.
yep.
You're
Maybe
safe.
also cannot be used.
Which also means that I can't turn into Lillian.
Oh,
Oh wait, what is the limit on that?
50.
It's
have
50
to-
for it's 50 for blessed blade, and they have to be within 15 size of me for me to shapeshift into them.
What's your size?
65.
You can't turn into me either.
Yeah,
Traditionally,
if you're less than 50, I can't turn into you.
I am immune.
traditionally,
What's Lewis's size?
traditionally, you
Oh, it's 55.
Okay.
Danger.
traditionally you would use like a sheep or a goat or something, but humans are animals.
Yes, they are.
Traditionally you would use a sheep or a goat. We're talking about blood sacrifice Virginia right now.
Fair.
Virginia blood sacrifice whatever her last name is.
But yeah, Jenny, you feel weak because that was a lot of blood you just lost.
Yes, I have 4 I have 4 hit points currently. Out of 10.
Yep.
It's hit points when you have blood sacrifice.
Exactly.
I'm saying, like, there were a couple of different spells that it could have been, but you bled on the knife. There's only one spell that can be. All right. So, you exit your container a little bit woozily, seeming to sense what had happened. A cup of orange juice.
Wrapping a bandage around my hand.
A cup of orange juice is being held out towards you by one of the technicians.
Thank you.
And the one that led you down here. All right, that's 4 for 4. We are going to lock these up, and once we've established a bit more of a safety protocol, if you need to commune with the items again, talk to your handler, and he will give you the paperwork you need to fill out to come back down. You can leave now.
All right.
Turn around and walk the other way.
All right, let's get out of here.
You all go up. You leave. As you walk out of the Panopticon, all of you give me a spot hidden check.
Dane?
Ooh. Oh, if we're
I will spend 2
this
luck
better
and
not
succeed
have
on
anything
this.
to do with the doll. That's all I have to say.
Better have something to do with the doll.
I spend 2 luck to succeed on that.
All right.
Oh. No dolls, please. Well, the creepy doll's sure, but not the other doll.
All of you succeed at your spot hidden check, which means that you look and see the blow up doll, and you make eye contact.
Oh, God damn it!
Succeeding's not always good.
Damn it!
And all of you take 1 point of
Katie actually just says that out loud.
all of you take 1 point of sanity loss as you realize that the blow up doll is doing the tongue in cheek blowjob miming thing, but it's a blow up doll and it shouldn't have a tongue. And that's it. That's all you got.
I mean, whatever. I've seen weirder.
Yeah.
That's why it's only 1 sanity point loss.
Yeah, but Katie is still very upset. Maybe not insane, but very upset.
And you continue to the elevator and go up.
I am, however, offended that my current sanity is no longer nice.
That's what you get for looking at this. I'm amused that you spent the luck points for that.
Hey, it means I get to try and improve my spot hidden.
It's true. It's true. But yes, as a reminder, for those of you watching and those of you playing, succeeding is not always good in Call of Cthulhu. Anyways, you get to the elevator. You go up, and you return to the slightly more mundane level of the secret organization's hidden base in Boston or in Chicago.
For a certain value of mundane.
More mundane, not absolutely mundane. Where you
I
got?
added it, by the way.
Where are you heading?
Let's go find the others.
For the three of you that aren't Virginia, Ginny looks a lot paler than normal.
You look like you need a transfusion.
I'll be fine. Give me some time.
Did the knife like drain your blood?
No, I gave it to it.
Cool.
Maybe more than was safe.
I mean,
Oh, I just gave it. Took what it needed.
You all do have implicit and explicit understanding of your spells. So of your spells, not of each other's spells, obviously. So.
I'm going to stick close to Virginia because I have been tasked with making sure she doesn't lose it. And, there's been a lot going on with her. I'm taking that job very seriously.
All four of you can give me listen checks as you are exiting the archives to look for your companions.
Do I spend 20 just so 20 luck, bringing me down to 9 just so I can raise my listen?
Do it.
Don't have enough
Yes.
luck to succeed on that.
I'll spend 9 luck.
How much is it? How much math? She's math.
I spent 20.
It would be 34 luck to succeed.
For me?
Yeah, for you.
Nah, skip it.
It would be 33 for me. Or sorry, it would be 20 minus 30 20
30 27.
27. Yes, 27. 30 minus 30.
Math.
Anyways, Ginny
What,
and
is there a penalty for failing to push?
sanity loss.
Sure, why not?
Do it!
We need sanity anyway.
I succeed.
All right. Those of you that succeed, you hear a very distressed gaggle of people discussing, talking rapidly about how they wish they could get the sound of Lewis saying, sorry, Lewis, what was the exact phrase that you used?
Oh, I have it written down. I was not expecting so many of them to be tongue-based.
Yeah, a group of women like office workers talking about how they desperately wish they could get the sound of Lewis talking about tongue-based activities out of their brain as they leave the commissary.
Well, there we are. Turn, walk.
Maybe you want to avoid any field work.
Or rather, turn, walk, waver a little, continue walking.
Feel like you guys don't know what you're missing. Continue on.
Also that.
As Victor and Vanessa offer opposite advice to the women as they pass
You can give me a psychology check if you want, Vanessa, or anybody honestly that heard it.
Sure. Extreme success.
Hey.
failure.
I am uncomfortable with the amount of natural successes that I've rolled
Yeah.
this week.
Would you like to spend 9 luck for that success, Vanessa?
No, I'm gonna keep my luck where it is right now.
It'll let you try to improve your psychology.
I already get to improve it
Okay.
because I already
Gotcha.
succeeded.
Ginny, you get the sense that they're not disgusted by Lewis. It's more that it's kind of like the reactions seem to be more like the friend of yours that you have never once envisioned being sexual in any way.
Okay, fair.
Suddenly talking about how much they've been going down on people, and it's just like it's a conflict of images, and they're very uncomfortable by it. Yeah.
It's a very powerful ludonarrative dissonance.
Yeah.
Yeah, Katie would have some of her own if she had heard it.
But that seems to be where they're coming from. But the group of you reconvene in the employee lounge off the commissary, where they have the bland coffee and a variety of different well-stocked snacks. And it is at
Including
that point,
chocolate.
including some chocolate, it is at that point that we are going to end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.